हम मेरे साथ नच गाओ. I am a disco dancer. Hey, I am a disco dancer.
When you first came into Bollywood, this was your first song as a Bollywood playback singer, and it won the golden disc. That must have skyrocketed your career, right?
I used to stammer very badly, hopelessly. But when I used to sing, the whole school would listen to me. The annual, they'd wait for me to sing. Then I met Bapi Lahiri there. He had come for a concert. He heard me. He said, "Arey, अच्छा गाना गाते हो? Bombay में आओ, try करो, शायद तुम भी गाना बन जाए."
But it was a long journey. It wasn't like this. It took years.
Well, Bombay जाना तो अच्छा है. Once you land, then you know कि क्या हाल चाल है. दाल चावल का हाल पता चल जाता है वहाँ पे.
How was it like being part of the whole Bollywood industry?
He was a very young man. I was very
So
happy
let
to
me remind you, your wife is sitting right.
Don't worry, my wife knows everything. Then I did a lot of singing for Govinda, Jackie Shroff, Amir Khan, Anil Kapoor.
Today, if you look at it, there's a lot of nepotism that happens in Bollywood, you know? So what do you say about that?
I mean, I saw my friend Devanand Saab just go away. I saw my friend Rajesh Khanna, the superstar. Everything was there. He had everything going, but one day he just went.
And your brother was in Germany and he was killed by the mafia then.
I said, never let your parents have tears in your eyes. Don't behave badly with them. They never mean bad for you. In fact, they're the only ones who will, all throughout your life, they'll back you, for better or for worse.
He actually told you, Vijay, I want you to leave Bollywood. I want you to sing for me.
I said, that's not possible because I know there's no money in there and I'm so used to getting good money and a good life. I have one wife and 2 kids, not the other way around.
You have completely stopped working for Bollywood or the film industry and now you exclusively do Can you guess where the speakers are?
No.
No?
On this. Oh yeah, on top. Yeah?
Yeah, but where exactly?
I don't know what I'm getting from here.
So, very proud to say that this light over here doubles as a speaker.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. This is a speaker on top of your head.
Yes.
That's very good.
It's a made in India product called Medley by Mueller.
Okay. From where? Like here?
From Pune.
From Pune. Okay.
So it's made in India product. So it acts as a light. Okay.
And as a speaker also.
As a speaker, everyone who comes here is like shocked. Like, where is the speaker? They're like, have you installed it inside the room?
Yeah. That's really nice.
You can change the light, the color of the light.
Oh, that's nice.
And you know, this light was made keeping housewives in mind. Housewives need light.
Everywhere.
In the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
And they love to listen to music. So this product was made for housewives.
Is it connected to electricity or is it
connected to electricity? Yes.
Wow, that's nice.
So,
fine, you got it. I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer. I am a disco dancer. Zindagi mera gaana. मैं इसी का दीवाना तो झूमो नाचो हम मेरे साथ नच गाओ I am a disco dancer. Hey, I am a disco dancer. Hey, I am a disco dancer.
wow. What a performance, sir. Thank you so much for gracing us with this performance. You know, what's very amazing is I read that when you first came into Bollywood, this was your first song, right, as a Bollywood playback singer, and it won the golden disc. That must have skyrocketed your career, right?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, to tell you the fact, when I was, this film had been released and sometime in Dashera time, that's October, November, something like that. And I was doing my concerts as I normally did. I was in Agra or somewhere after finishing with Delhi at the Ashoka Hotel. I was in Agra. And I was talking to a friend of mine. He says, do you know one thing? I said, what happened? He says, your song is all over the place. It's on the top of the charts. It's a big hit. I said, what do you mean hit? For me, that time hit means...
Dishum.
Dishum. I said, what do you mean by hit? He says, means it's really doing very well. And
this is all in Hindi.
Yeah, all in Hindi.
Yeah, so you can speak in Hindi.
तो वो बहुत बड़ा हिट हो गया है आपका गाना. आप जब सुनिए, अच्छा हर डिस्को तक में बज, उस टाइम डिस्कोज वर अ बिग थिंग, डिस्को तक में बज रहा है. आप अब वो पंडल में बज रहा है, वो दशहरा पंडल ऐप उसमें बज रहा है और सब जगह और खूब लोग सुन रहे हैं. और मैंने कहा अच्छा हिट पे मतलब काफ़ी बढ़ गया. अरे क्या बढ़ नहीं गया है, बहुत बढ़ गया है. मैंने कहा अच्छा वाह, ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. क्या कहते हैं, वेरी हैप्पी. तो then I went, then I spoke to Bappi, our late Bappi Larry. I spoke to him. I says, Bappi da, can I have Vijay? He calls him instead of Vijay. Vijay, तुम्हारा बहुत अच्छा गान हुआ है, तुम आओ अब हमसे मिलो. कहाँ हो? मैंने कहा मैं आगरा हूँ, आगरा में हूँ, मैं आऊँगा बाद में, प्रोग्राम ख़त्म हो जाए. कि हाँ जैसे आओगे मुझे बता दो. तो 1 or 2 days before I told him, Bappi da, I'm coming. He says, अच्छा तो ऐसा करना, तुम सुबह सुबह, जैसे आप शाम को पहुँच रहे हो, सुबह तुम फ्लाइट तुम्हें शाम की. हमने कहा क्या सुबह तुम ऐसा करना स्टूडियो में आ जाना. मैंने क्या है, कहने गाना है तुम्हारे लिए. मैंने कहा मेरे गाना है. सो बिकॉज Disco Dancer song was my first film, and in that it was my first song. I only had one song, Disco Dancer, and it was my first song in very first film. So this was second song. तो मैंने कहा ठीक है मैं आ जाता हूँ. Next day महबूब स्टूडियो बैंड्रा में जो है, बहुत बड़ा स्टूडियो, नामी स्टूडियो है, वहाँ अब मैं पहुँच गया. Huge studio it is. It had a capacity of 100 musicians that could hold at one time, and they used to play for us. We used to have 100-piece musicians playing. That includes the chorus singers, the violinists, the 20 violinists, and percussion, the brass section,
right,
or guitar and Indian instruments and tabla. I mean, it is massive. तो जब मैं पहुंचा जैसे मैं दरवाजे में रिकॉर्डिंग रूम में साइड से जैसे एंट्री किया, सब लोग ताली बजाने लगे. एंड दे स्टार्ट शाउटिंग. आई गॉट सो स्केर्ड दैट आई स्टार्ट गोइंग बैक. मैं नीचे उतरने लगा डर के मारे कि इतना शोर कैसे हो रहा है. तो उन्होंने कहा व्हाट्स रॉन्ग विजय. मैंने कहा नो, आई वाज नॉट यूज्ड टू दैट काइंड ऑफ पीपल अपलॉडिंग फॉर मी कि विजय आया है, हिट गाना दिया है. तो मैं फिर अंदर आ गया. जैसे अंदर आया तो उस टाइम रूना लैला एक बहुत बड़ी सिंगर है बांग्लादेश की, Runa Laila.
Okay.
Yes. So she came and gave me a big hug. A beautiful lady. Give me a big hug. क्या गाना आपने गाया है? बहुत अच्छा गाना. And I said, I was shy, and Bappi is standing there next to her. Then he wished me also, and then they all wished and all said, चलो हम गाना गाओ. I went to the studio. So it was like an awesome feeling कि once you become, मुझे तो कोई वैसे पूछता ही नहीं था पहले, क्योंकि फिल्म लाइन में कोई किसी, जब तक आप कुछ नहीं कोई पूछता नहीं. और आज के दिन सब म्यूजिशियंस, सब लोग इतना प्यार जता रहे, इतने ताली बजा रहे, इतना शोर मचा रहे हैं, ऊपर मुझको एक गाना ही मिल गया है. So it was very difficult to understand that time, but it was a great time. I will never forget that scene.
Amazing. So we are here with Vijay Benedict. He is a former Bollywood playback singer. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be on the Creative Genesis podcast.
I'm so happy to be with you, Ryan. I'm honored you invited me over. I'm in Goa, such a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
One of the most beautiful places, and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm here with my wife, Rebecca, and whenever we come to Goa, we just feel so blessed being here. We are so happy here. Lovely people, lovely food, and everything is so good. Yeah, it's really relaxing.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm really grateful that your wife, Rebecca, is here. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. You've helped so much with the direction of the camera. Wow, I'm like, I know you are kind of a behind the scenes. You know, I was actually thinking of having her also here.
Yeah, we should
Maybe
have
next
had
time
her.
we should.
Yeah, we do it
She's
next
saying
time.
no.
She is very shy, but yeah, the thing is, she's very fond of audiovisual, and for a lot of my television, India as well as abroad, she always helps out in telling what is. She just gives her this thing, the impressions and what
No,
she
I could
thinks
see
is right.
that. She had an eye for what looks good.
She does.
Yeah, so
she does.
that's amazing.
She does have an eye for
You know,
these kind
so
of things.
this podcast is called the Creative Genesis podcast.
Creative Genesis program.
Yes.
Very lovely.
Thank you. And I believe that as we believe our Father in heaven is a creator, we too have that ability to create, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to understand where was your genesis? Where did you begin? I believe you are a North Indian Christian. I didn't even know there were North Indian Christians. Like Goa, people know, okay, Goa.
Yeah, it's a Christian
kind
of place.
It's predominantly Christian,
Yeah,
not anymore. But North India is predominantly Hindu, Muslim. You can barely. Because I was wondering, how come your name is Vijay Benedict? Is that your original name?
Absolutely.
Wow.
My father's name is Benedict, so I've got to take it. Sometime I don't know. Maybe I could have been earlier. I could have been a Banerjee or Mukherjee or Ghoshal or Yadav. I don't know really, but take it. Whatever. What is in the name?
Yeah,
It will be
absolutely.
just
Absolutely.
okay. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Christian community in North India. And where were you born?
I'm from Allahabad. It's one of the famous cities known as the education city. We also had the first set of prime ministers from there, and it's a lovely place, quiet city, lovely place. And of course, my hometown is always a lovely place. Everybody's hometown is, because it has so much of memories of childhood, schooling, college. I did my MBA. I went to the University of Motilal Nehru Institute of Business Management at the University of Allahabad. And I did my graduation in classical vocal. So, पढ़ा लिखा हूँ थोड़ा बहुत.
So you did your graduate in classical vocal.
Yeah, I'm a graduate from the Prayag Singer Samiti. It's a very big school of music. It's a massive place over there when you go. It's like a big place. And at that time when I started, I was very young. At that time, I was a child and 7 years old and started going there. So my parents sent me for classical music, and here I was in a Christian school singing English songs, and here there would I sit and those things and sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni da pa. And I said I used to clash because whole day in English, here it's totally ठेठ Hindi, तो जरा अलग लगता था, but I think I was a little obedient boy, तो चला जाता था.
Yeah, so you're proper UPite. You've done your entire early life and your education in Allahabad.
Absolutely.
So then, how did the whole playback singing, how did singing enter into your life?
No,
well, even though you were studying
music.
Yeah.
Actually,
how did the Bollywood connection happen?
I'll tell you. No, let me tell you something very, very important in my life. And I think it's so important. Everybody tries this sob story and all that. But mine was an extraordinary story from my point of view, I feel. When I was young, I was in school, I used to stammer.
Really?
So I could not speak to friends because I would stammer. They would make fun of me. How children, they tease each other. They loves to catch on somebody who they can bully or tease or something. So I was on the receiving end all the time. And I became a little bit of an underconfident child. And my teachers would also ask me questions and I would not be able to answer quickly because I stammer. Sometimes they thought I'm trying to avoid answering, so I'm trying to put up an act. So I'd get a slap also. And it made me feel really bad. Yeah, it was sad. And one day I told my Mom, dekhiye, Mama, I don't want to go to school because everybody teases me and I'm not happy over there. So can I stay with you instead of going to school? My mom said, no, beta, you cannot stay. You have to go to school and you have to educate yourself. And one day the whole world, she said one day, the whole world will listen to you. So I told Mom, what, Mom? You're making fun of me? I said, you're also making fun of me? She says, no, beta. Study. Educate yourself. One day the world will listen to you. Well, I think that was parents are like, they take the place of God on earth for you, and maybe a prayers, a prophecy, maybe out of a love. But as I told you earlier, I was obedient, so I went to school, educated myself. And here I am. People call me from all over the world. I've just returned back from America after 1.5 months of concerts and talking to people. And I can talk very well now.
Wow. That was a very touching story. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so amazing when, parents prophesy blessings on their children. I think God hears that.
You know what, Ryan? The thing is like this. The parents are, if after God anybody really loves you without unconditionally, it's your parents.
Yeah.
And that's why at this age that I have reached, I like to tell all these young, wonderful people of my country and maybe all over the world too, that please respect your parents. As a matter of fact, the fifth commandment, if I'm not mistaken, there's the fifth command: honor your father and your mother, and you will have long life. This is the only commandment that gives a reward if you obey that commandment. No other commandment has a reward. This has. That means how important God has put the placing of parents, mother and father, in the lives of the young ones. And it becomes imperative, it becomes very important that when we grow up, we learn to give it back to the parents, the love that they have shown, respect them. I've always tell the young people when I talk, I said, never let your parents have tears in your eyes because of your bad behavior to them. Don't behave badly with them. They never mean bad for you. In fact, they're the only ones who will, all throughout your life, they'll back you, for better or for worse.
So true. You know, it just brought back memories of my dad today. So my Jeep got stuck in Mapsa.
Okay.
I failed to realize that I was low on fuel. And it's a diesel classic, what do you call it? The old Mahindra Jeep.
Oh, the big sturdy ones.
Yeah, the big sturdy ones. So what I realized after it stopped is, I'm out of fuel. I went and got fuel. Then I realized when a diesel vehicle runs out of fuel, it's a big headache. You got to pump the air out and all that stuff.
Oh,
so I tried my best, but then there was somebody with me and it was failing. I said, whenever things go to, hit the fans, call the father. I'm 35 years old. But I called my dad. I said, Dad, I need help with this. I can't do it. I got to interview you today. And first he was super angry. He's like, I told you this. I've told you don't ever keep it low on fuel. But I said, I don't know what to do. I can't help it. He's like, no, I will not help you. I said, okay. I messaged him, as God leads you. And he messaged me, no, God is leading me to make sure that you suffer. Make sure that you suffer and you learn your lesson.
Okay.
But then after some time, he called and said, Ryan, I'm coming with the mechanic. You just don't worry. You carry on with your work.
That's your father and mother for you. They will be through thick and thin. Your parents will always be with you. That's what I always said. Respect your mother and father because you don't know what they've gone through to look after you.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's a beautiful lesson. Thank you for sharing that.
I'll always say that.
That's very touching, and I hope everyone really takes this to heart because, as Vijay said, it is truly the only commandment that carries a blessing with it.
Absolutely.
So, and I was just going to comment on the Hindu culture. The Hindu culture inculcates a lot of respect and honor for parents,
Our Indian culture, first of all, I'm very enamored by this Namaste. During COVID time,
right?
I thought this was the best thing you can do in the world.
Okay.
Well, I'm not against shaking hands. This is the way we always do it. I did it with you and met you. But I always feel that, the Indian culture is so imbibed in depth of things that if we stick to it, we've got some fantastic culture. Like, like I don't know now in Bombay and all the people are very modern, but when I go to places like Calcutta and some places in Bombay also, they have the culture of the younger people touching the feet of the people. Now, it is not something that is bad. I feel it's just the culture. It's got no religious this thing to it. It's just the respect that you give, and it speaks volume of my Indian culture. And I'm so proud of it. When I go to Calcutta, everyone, boys who are handsome, boys who are acting, girls who are acting, those singers, they're so popular, they'll come because I'm a little senior now. They'll touch. And of course, I normally don't like anybody touching my feet, but that's the way they bend down and they'll reach somewhere near your knees to touch and to show. And I think that's such a wonderful culture of showing respect to your senior.
Yeah.
And I think we should keep on doing it. Plus, whenever we meet anybody, it's the safest, the cleanest way is to say namaste. I think it's the most beautiful thing, and it gives such a respect to the person in front instead of going up and just holding hands and saying, but that's okay, his friends will do it. But this kind of a thing just has, and as I said, in COVID time, I thought this was the best thing that you could do instead of going like this or going like this, and just nicely. So there's a lot of things in Indian culture, and I think we must keep on cultivating it, because all the time trying to do what the Western people do may not be always a great idea. I think we should stick to some of our wonderful culture.
Yeah, we have amazing Indian culture. And, I went for, there's this Dev Karya ceremony in Goa, the Goan GSB community.
Okay.
I don't know the full form, but they're a Brahmin community in Goa.
Okay.
And Dev Karya ceremony is a ceremony, I think, when the son is honored for coming of age or something. Not only does our Indian culture honor our parents, but they also honor their children. I was so touched by it.
Yeah.
Because it's basically telling the child, you know what? Like how the Jews have that bar mitzvah, is it? Where they honor the young men who turn 13.
Okay.
They're basically saying you're becoming a man now. We're going to respect you and honor you, because when you grow older, you're going to take care of us.
Right. Oh, that's wonderful.
I found it quite beautiful.
Yeah, you see, in life, respecting each other is a very I always love to respect my younger people around me. I like to show them respect, not in the sense of touching their feet or anything, but in the way you talk, the way you approach them, you show that they matter.
Absolutely,
they matter to you, because and today the young generation is so intelligent compared to what we were. They're so alive to situations. I also think that they have a lot of challenges. You see, we grew up in a very sort of what you can say, like an innocent age.
Yeah.
Where everybody after school would meet together and get together. We had a set of 6, 7, 8 friends would get together, and we will play with each other. We'll talk to each other. We'll discuss with each other before we went for evening studies or prayers or whatever it was. And we had time together. Now, I don't see that happening, because as soon as everybody comes in, they've got their phone, they've got their television. They've got so many distractions to make it very lonelier than what it was earlier. There's not much time to devote to outside activities.
Yeah.
You're very much in the house. You got everything at your fingertips. You got the telephone in your hand. You got the phone, mobile. You got the television there. They're all remote, and that gives a lot of being by yourself, and that's. I feel it's not such a great idea. It's also nice to have people around you to communicate to people, to talk physically to people instead of on the phone and things. But having said that, I think we are in an age where these things are happening, and it'll be like this for some time.
What I've heard, that all of these Silicon Valley billionaires, millionaires, they send their kids to a special school where there is zero technology. Really? No tablets, no phones, no computers, nothing.
But why?
Because they realize that technology only makes you a slave.
That's right. It's about time. It's about time. The AI is there, and I feel we're going to be more of that going to be happening with the AI there. And I don't know really how good it is. Very helpful in certain ways, but in certain ways it may not be. It may not be such a great.
I think also probably they realize that they want their children to think independently and not be influenced by technology, because they themselves are developing things like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and they know how much these apps influence people, So perhaps they are safeguarding their children from influences which are not the best.
But in the meanwhile, they're influencing others in the same way, which that means not a great thing anyway.
What can I say? What can I say? So let's get back to... you were in Allahabad. You've done your MBA. You did your education in Hindustani vocals.
Yeah.
How did the whole Bollywood thing happen? And let's talk about how did I Am a Disco Dancer happen, which happened to be your first stint as a backup vocalist. Well, not a backup vocalist. What do you call it?
Playback. Well, playback is the main thing which in the film is not playback. Is the word I don't know from where derived this playback. The fact remains that we are the real voice. We are the voice of of the song, and we are singing the song actually. The hero is just aping us. So that's about all. So as I said, I was very fond of singing, and I was a stammer. The one more thing I tell you, I used to stammer very badly, hopelessly, but when I used to sing, the whole school would listen to me. The annual, they'd wait for me to sing. I'm not saying it because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because it used to happen, and for me
really?
it was more
Wow.
bigger because nobody wanted to talk to me. But when I went to sing at the annual function, I sang. They would say wow, and they'll clap for me, and that's about the only time I got any appreciation in school. And so I was very fond of singing. So I wanted to become and. As I kept on growing, I said, my father, we are from a middle class family. Well, not very well to do, but not very badly off. So just middle class. We had everything, but in small measures. It was okay. We went to good schools. We had enough to eat by God's grace, and we were okay. But I wanted to do something more bigger. I wanted to become something big. I wanted people to hear me. That was my thing.
You wanted people to hear you despite the fact that you had a big stammering problem.
Yes. I think that made it more important for me to people hear me, because they wouldn't like to hear me talk. So maybe they like to hear me sing. Maybe
Do you think...
I never thought of it knowingly, but inside it must have been working that way. I wanted people's attention.
Wow.
I want people to know me. I wanted people to appreciate me. And I guess everybody loves to be appreciated. Everybody loves to be known, whatever it is. And so I think that was inherently in me to sort of so that's why I wanted to sing. So I said, I want to sing, I want people to hear me, and I want to become popular. I want people to clap when I sing, because I enjoyed that. As I said, I had no other appreciation except this, so I wanted it more and more. And then I said, one day I want to become a big singer. Now that made me difficult. But my parents never encouraged me for real singing as a profession.
Okay.
वो नहीं मांगते थे कि हम singer बने, because in those days singers अच्छे लोग नहीं singer बनते.
Oh really?
एक्टिंग भी फिल्म में लड़के लड़कियां जाते हैं, अच्छे लोग नहीं होते. लड़कियां तो बिल्कुल ही अच्छी नहीं होती हैं, लड़के भी अच्छे नहीं होते हैं. तो और सिंगिंग भी है कितनी बड़ी चीज़ है. यस, बिजनेस MBA करा तो ऑफिस में काम करो, मैनेजर बन जाओ. यार क्या बात है.
And an MBA in those days, sir, must have been a good thing.
Yes, I worked. See, in the Bible there is a verse which says, eyes have not seen, neither has the ear heard, nor has it crossed the heart of man, the plans that God has for those who love the Lord. I love the Lord. मैं बचपन से ही परमेश्वर से प्रेम करता था. I loved the Lord from my childhood. In the sense, I was a good boy, never wanted to do anything wrong, and always wanted to be loving to my parents, respectful to parents, with a little bit of things, respectful to my elders. Maybe I was more scared of them because of my handicap of having not been able to speak properly. And so that was inherent. But I wanted to become a singer and be appreciated and people clap for me. And that gave me the thing, and I cultivated that. I started being a singer. Then when I went to college, I started working for, after my studies, I started working for a company, a big company in Allahabad. There's the biggest company in Allahabad. Well, Allahabad never used to have such a big company, but this was the biggest. So I got a job because I was a singer and had a band. So the owner met me, and the owner said, why, what are you doing? I said, I'm just finishing my college and university. He said, why don't you work for us? I said, sure, I'll work. And he's very happy. Come over, and he gave me a job.
Because of your singing?
That's because of my singing.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's because of my singing. So that's how I got the job. But I still want to sing. And when I went for another interview, I wanted to look for a better job. So I went for another interview to Delhi. I didn't get the job, but that evening I was in Ashoka Hotel. There were two hotels at that time. Ashoka Hotel, 5-star hotels, Ashoka Hotel and Oberoi's. And I was at the Ashoka Hotel. One of my friends said, let's go and have dinner. They took me there. From Allahabad, small town, I saw that hotel was massive. It had beautiful golden, the restaurant had a golden dome on top, and I looked all over, and there I was eating food, and the pretty girls were there at the reception, and the handsome guys, Punjabi guys, tall, handsome guys, tough, hatta katta ekdam. And I was stunned. And then the chief of the entertainment wing came, and he sat at the table, and my friend who took me, they were friends. So he mentioned to me, this is Vijay Benedict, और ये अभी इलाहाबाद से आए हैं, और ये अच्छा गाना गाते हैं. क्या अच्छा गाना गाते हैं? चलो, the band singing, go and sing. So I said, I was happy. I always loved singing. So I went to sing. So when I sang, earlier they were all eating. And they were singing and eating, and everybody. When I sang, everybody stopped and listened to me.
Really?
And they clapped for me. Now that was
Wow.
something for that evening, was a thing which they were not doing it, and I got very happy. I sang one song, and then they
You
asked
were
me for one
literally
more.
the showstopper.
Well, like that, yeah. It happened like that. I didn't expect it, but it happened. Then when I went to sit back in my seat and having dinner, he said, "Why don't you try your this thing? Try like at the singing." I said, "No, sir, I'm working for a company. I came for an interview. I never got in, so I'm going back to the company." He says, "Why don't you come for a few months and spend with me?" So I said, "Fine."
So
I came.
he hired you in his hotel.
In the hotel. He was chief of the entertainment wing.
Mm.
So he could hire people. That was his job as a
Yeah.
that was his job. So one naukri mil gayi, and I started singing, and that's how it started. And then I met some people from London. You know, in the hotels, people come and go, and they meet you. They become your friends. Some stay there for a longer period of time. All the beautiful girls, all the models from Paris and all would come. I was a very young man. I was very
So
happy.
let
to
me
meet
remind
all-
you, your wife is sitting right there.
Don't worry, my wife knows everything.
I'm just pulling your leg.
Yeah, don't. You're trying to scare me. Come on, you can't do that. She knows everything about me.
She heard this story a million times before.
She's heard it. She knows everything, and she knows what it is. Even now, she sees me, but she has a lot of confidence. That's why I take her everywhere around. So, मेरा कोई problem नहीं है.
Love that. I love that.
Yes. So then these friends said, "Why don't we come to London and sing and all that?" And they were rich people, so they called me. I went and stayed with them. Wow, London.
You went to London?
Yeah,
Wow.
I went from there. I went to London for a few months, and I stayed there for 3 years. And I used to every Saturday
Amazing.
I used to do concerts, earn some money. It was fun.
And how old were you at this time?
I must have been in my late 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was great fun. I just enjoyed London. That's why till now I think England. Anyway, England is always a nice place for us to go. There, it's nice, it's cozy and cool in summers. In winters, I dare not go. It's terrible, but otherwise, it's very nice. So I went there 3 months, 3 years. I was there.
3 years.
Yes.
That's a long time.
And I used to keep often coming on and on. But 3 years, I used to enjoy going. They used to call me. I used to go enjoy myself, earn some money there also in pounds. So that was good.
Yeah.
And then I met Bapi Lahiri there. He had come for a concert. He heard me. He says, "अरे अच्छा गाना गाते हो. बॉम्बे में आओ, ट्राई करो, शायद तुम भी गाना बन जाए." I was quite excited because I wanted to do songs in films. So I said, "Okay, fine." And there I was in Bombay, and the few months time was there. मैं चला गया Bombay. Well, Bombay जाना तो अच्छा है. Once you land, then you know कि क्या हाल चाल है. दाल चावल का हाल पता चल जाता है वहाँ पे. See, it's a huge place. People are very busy. They work very hard over there, and they have no time for anybody because they are all very busy. एक तो traveling is tough. ऊपर से क्या कहते हैं, there is too much of I mean, in film line there was at that time singers को ज़्यादा थे. They were always, the big singers were already there. All the songs they used to sing, and for an entrant is very tough to get an entry at that time. बहुत मुश्किल था. But I kept on meeting after Bapi Lahiri's family is like my family. I used to go there, spend days, meet people, producers and all. They would hear. They said fine. So B. Subhash was making Disco Dancer.
Yeah.
He heard me, and he said he came once or twice, heard me. Then we met. One day I was sitting and talking, and he said, "Vijay, I have got the title song. I like your voice, but your voice doesn't resemble any singers." This time there were people who would have Kishore Kumarji's voice, Mohammed Rafi Saab's voice, and they would sing in that, and they got some placing in some songs. But I had no voice. He says, "Aapka voice milta nahi na."
What do you mean? What do you mean your voice was not like any of theirs?
See, there were singers
Right.
who used to sing exactly more or less like Mohammed Rafi style. So people like that.
okay.
So Kishore Kumar style, his voice of singing, his way of delivering the song. They would
So there were people trying to imitate the
imitate
main
up to us.
singers.
Yes. But I had no voice. I had to sing. I had my own voice.
Right.
So he said, "Well, but I still like your voice." So he said, "What I'll do, I'll give you this song, title song, and I have, I put everything in this film, or whatever money I've got to put in this film. And what I'll do, I'll record the song. अगर अच्छा लगा तो रख लेंगे, नहीं तो किशोर कुमार जी will dub it. मैंने कहा ठीक है. I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I'll give it my best shot. And I really did give it my best shot. I sang in my own style. I sang in my own voice by the grace of God. And then I was getting down after the recording. It was a long recording. We were doing it at the World Trade Center. Big studio. It got burnt a little later, but huge place it was. There were
When you say long recording,
morning to evening. Normally recordings nowadays you go in an hour, 2 hours, you're done with the recording. Everything is already there. You just have to dub the song. तो मैं अपना चला गया, क्या कहते हैं, I record the evening is finished. I was walking down, I came down and B. Subhash ji finished the song and he was getting into his car and going. So I was also going. So he saw me, he says, he stopped the car, he says, Vijay, कहाँ जा रहे हो? मैंने कहा सर क्या हुआ है कि most of my friends have come from London. तो उनको खाने पे मुझे ले जाना है तो मैं ज़रा जा रहा हूँ बड़ी दूर है तो how will you go? I said I'll take a taxi or maybe I think I'll take a train. I'll reach faster.
Where was the studio? Andheri.
The studio was in Churchgate. That's in town.
Okay.
And I was staying in Bandra.
Okay.
So it is quite far away. So about say 30 kilometers or 25 kilometers. So but train it's about say 45 minutes. By rush time it might take a long time by car. So I said I won't go by taxi. So he says come and sit. I'm also going to Bandra. I will take you. चलो तो मैं बैठ गया. When I sat, he looked at me and he said, Vijay, you have sung the song very well. और तुमने नहीं, उसने कहा विजय तुमने बहुत अच्छे से गाना गाया. ये गाना मैं रखूँगा.
Oh wow.
So I looked at him. I said, Subhaji, are you sure you're going to keep this song of mine? He said, yeah, I'm going to keep this song. This is done very well and the way I wanted it. तो मैंने कहा, I looked at his face and he smiled. He said, yes, I'm going to keep it. And that's it.
Wow, what a way to enter, huh? But
Yeah.
it was a long journey. It wasn't like this. It took years.
Yeah, it took 1.5 years. And in that time...
No, I'm talking about like even London.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like how you moved from Delhi for a job interview and didn't get the job, but you got a job in a hotel and then you moved to London and met Bappy Lahiri there and then he brought you here and 1.5 year in Bombay and then you got this.
Yes.
So it's a long time.
In that time, I passed through a very rough time. Though I had come from London, I had about 60,000 rupees that time. So 1.5 years, everything finished because there was no income anyway. I was just keep on trying. And Bombay is expensive place. And I used to pay 350 rupees for my room rent as a PG.
In Bandra?
Guest. In Bandra, yes. And then I had no money to eat. There were days when I had no food to eat and I was a very hungry young man. बड़ी भूख लगती थी.
Yeah.
लेकिन कुछ खाने को नहीं था and my friend was a Goan.
Mm-hmm.
He was
really?
a Goan, a very nice guy. He's got a huge bungalow. Romeo is his name. And they were very, very kind people. Goans are very loving, very sweet people. So I told him, Romeo, मेरे पास पैसे ख़त्म हो गए हैं और इस महीने आपको देने को पैसे है नहीं. So he was a little angry. He says, you BF, bloody fool. He said, sorry to use this word, but this is what he said. He said, you are such an itna smart आदमी हो. Yeah, you dress up so well, you talk so well, you done your MBA. अरे यहाँ पर इतनी नौकरी है and you are struggling to sing a song, to get a song and become a singer. Who कौन singer बनता है यार जल्दी? It's very tough. You're wasting your time. You go, you're handsome looking. So I said, I have a dream. I want to become a singer. He says, I'll call you a beer. I said, and he says, you don't have money to give me now, you're saying. He says, but now we become friends. You know how Goans are. They are so sweet. He says, no, we are friends. You can keep on staying here. But when you get your money, I want all my money back. I said, okay, fine, that's done. I'll definitely do it. So that problem was solved of not having money to pay, but that's still very hungry. And people offered me
like physically hungry. You would not get to eat food.
But I had a dream. I want to become a film star. I want to be a playback singer. I want to be a singer. And so after 5 months, Disco Dancer was released.
Wow.
And it hit the charts. It got me more films.
And you were back in Allahabad when you heard that it was released?
No. I was in Bombay only. I never went back. I went for a show to Agra and then I came back to Bombay, as I told you earlier.
Yeah. So that was Agra.
But I was staying in Bandra only. Yes, and that's the story. And then I did about 35-40 songs. I sang for Mithun Chakrabarti a lot because that was my first film. A lot
with
of
B.
films.
Subhash, Bappy Lahiri and Mithun Chakrabarti.
Then I did a lot of singing for Govinda, Jackie Shroff, Amir Khan, Anil Kapoor. Those were the top of heroes of that 80s years. And I sang with mostly all the music directors except R.D. Burman Saab. but Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji Saab and other music directors, top music directors, I got an opportunity by the grace of God. But I always believe that, each one of us has got, we call it destiny, but in the Bible it says, eyes have not seen, nor the ears have heard, nor the has across the heart of man for the plans that God has for those who love the Lord. So God has plans for everybody. Since He's the creator, He's created us, and He's got a plan for everybody, but we have got to go according to the plans. You can change if you want to, but if you believe in God and you go according to plans, He has good plans for you, not to harm you, but to prosper you.
Absolutely. I loved how you shared that story. I would like to ask you, you've done a lot of work with B. Subhash ji, Bapi Leri. How did that jodi, or how did that bond happen, and how did tell us about the importance of relationships?
Well, in the film industry, the relationship is always happen because of work.
Okay.
Of work. See, the thing is that, as I said, it's a very busy city. सब लोग अपने काम में व्यस्त रहते हैं, अपने काम ही में रहते हैं, और जो लोग उनके साथ रहते हैं, देखो जब पिक्चर बन रही है तो फिल्म स्टार, हीरो, हीरोइन, कैरेक्टर एक्टर्स, सिंगर्स, म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर एक साथ, they keep on meeting each other, and then when the movie खत्म हो जाती है तो everybody goes their own work with another project. So they've gone, but still there is a thing as a bond. There's a thing of friendship. There's always love. There's always care. It does have a certain amount of family feelings in the industry. It's not all that alone, and you do form of a bond of friendship, of love, of caring and sharing with each other. It does happen, yes.
And I guess it's also because you understand each other well. To develop a new relationship with a new person takes a whole lot of time. So might as well work with people you understand, who you love, who you already have a relationship. Is that also part of it?
No, you're absolutely right, Ryan, because it does happen because, see, we basically, since we have become artists, we have become more emotional. So our emotions have to match each other. It can be sometimes you got very high emotions of anger. I've seen some people who are always very angry. You say something doesn't suit them. So if you are the type who can answer back and go back, then you get along. Otherwise, you shy away and meet people of your own kind who are calm and peaceful, and you work with them. You want to be with those kind of people whom you want to be. So because of these little factors, you tend to form your own circle of people whom you'd like to meet, whom you'd like to work with, whom you'd like to associate with self. So that's it, and that gives you a place. If you can handle that, I think it's and Filmland is a very, very, very nice place, especially for artists. Like, I want to be a singer. I mean, when you record, you're doing the highest form of recording over there. The latest gadgets, the latest kind of music, the best of musicians are playing for you, the best music director is composing for you. You better give your best.
Wow. So, you became one of the top Bollywood playback singers. You were the top 8, right? How was it like being part of the whole Bollywood industry? You are bumping shoulders with the top actors, actresses. Since I am not part of that society, how is it like being part and so ingrained in that society?
Well, I will tell you frankly, सच में पूछिए अगर आप ran, it's like a dream come true. Like Devanand Saab was a very dear friend of mine, and I just idolized him when I was young. Devanand Saab, हम दोनों में अभी न जाओ छोड़ कर कि दिल अभी भरा नहीं अभी न जाओ छोड़ कर. So when you meet person like you've been such a romantic singer, such a romantic person. When you meet him, hello Victor, he used to call me Victor.
Victor.
How are you, Victor? Because my first name is Victor Vijay Benedict.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm not passport. So Victor, he used to only rest all call me Vijay, but he used to call you Victor. How are you? कैसा? अच्छा गाना गा रहे हो? मैं देखा सुना तुम्हारा. हाँ, कोई दिन काम करते हैं. Like that, he was so sweet. But I can't believe that he became a friend of mine, and then the big stars, the ladies, heroines. I would meet Ravida Ramanji, I would meet Salma Aga, Mandakini, Sri Devi, Jayaprada, all this. They were just friends. They meet you on same level. Hello Vijay, kya ho raha hai? We meet them, and especially at showtime, we go around the world doing concerts. They would be all together. We'd literally live together, eat together, move around together. And since it was secure, security was important for all of us. We used to be on the same floor of the 5-star hotels anywhere in the world. So we'd be bumping into each other every now and then.
Yeah.
So it's like a family. But sometimes, I used to look up to this person. He's here, there, talking to me like friends. Like person Johnny Walker, when I was a child, I was like, Sar jo tera chakraye, the dil do bajaye, aja pyare paas hamare. That song, and I should see him, sir. कह रहे कि यार विजय तुम चलो हम लोग साथ में गाते हैं ना आपने क्या गाने गाए यू आर comedian and used to sing क्या अच्छे hited गाने आपके हुए क्या कहते गाने because of your acting in that. It is very surprising that God gave us opportunity to meet these kind of people, and they're so nice. They are full of glamour. They are so popular and so big, but you speak to them, they're the normal human beings. They joke, they laugh, they fight, they eat, and it's just fun. And I enjoyed the film line. It was absolutely a dream come true for me, and I'm grateful to God that He gave me this opportunity to be in the Indian film industry, which is so talented, so very glamorous, so full of people who are artists. You cannot be in the films unless you are good at your job. Not good, but very good at your job. There's no such thing as luck. Okay, kabhi ho jata, but basically you have to have the talent. You have to have the will to work hard in spite of all. See, not every film becomes a hit for everybody. However big the star is, or however big the singer is, you have to have the guts to take it when you don't do too well. And keep on doing your best, and you can last. Yes.
Yeah. But, today if you look at it, there's a lot of nepotism that happens in Bollywood, So what do you say about that?
See, I had nobody for myself, and I made it. So I don't... Thoda bahut to hota hai. Why it happens in every industry. If you see the big industry, the textile industry, the big people, their sons, their children, everybody is there promoting their own. So I don't believe that much. I don't believe.
Okay.
I don't think. I think, a little bit hota, but why not everywhere it happens? But basically, I'm a person who doesn't know anybody. I don't have anybody of my family in Bombay, but still too I made it. So I don't. For me, I don't.
So it's a big encouragement for people who want to make it in the industry. Do it because you have a chance, right?
Yes, but the sacrifice is too big.
Really?
You really have to. An MBA guy, देखिए मैं MBA करा हुआ इंसान अब भूखा सोने को है जवान इंसान मैं हूँ भूखा सो रहे हो और MBA का हार्ड डिग्री है just because I have a dream I sacrificed. You have to have the guts. नहीं होता है कितने बार तो मैं सोचा चलो काम कर लो यार अब नहीं हो पा रहा है let's go and do some work forget about this लेकिन other side my heart told me नहीं Vijay keep on trying yeah let's give it a try for some more time let's give it some more time and work hard sincere to what you do always believe in God. You always believe in God. There is a God up there who's taking care of you, who looks after you, and be sincere to your work and keep on working hard. Life is full. Life is not easy. You really have to rough it out. You're going to do your best, and there is always a bright side. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Always.
Absolutely. So, I want to recount an incident that happened recently. We were at a party and there was a guitarist who came. He sang for us. He entertained us. And we were the church, my church group. And at the end of this thing, even though he had made us so happy, they came and, started speaking with him and, just ministering to him. And they found out that he has been suffering with deep depression for so many years. And from that, I understood that entertainers, they make everyone else so happy, but they themselves sometimes are in deep depression. Like Robbie Williams, for example. He was such an amazing comedian, actor.
Yeah.
made everyone so happy, but he died of suicide. Can you tell us your perspective on the entertainment industry and what's happening with the personal lives?
You know what happens is, see, the what you see a person on screen doesn't mean he's that same person. So we normally try to associate, अगर जोकर होगा तो उसके माने हर वक्त जोक मारता, हर वक्त खुशी होता होगा, हर वक्त नाचता गाता रहता होगा, खुश रहता होगा, खुशी में रहता होगा. It's not like that. After all, he's a human being. He goes through all the ups and downs as any other person. Now it all depends how you as a person is able to take the happiness side as well as the depression side of it. How are you able to take your life? Does it affect you so badly that you have to give your life away? I don't think so that is necessary. I think you have to balance yourself all the while. Like, you know, if I go for a concert, when I was doing big shows, people would like, I was doing concerts at the Royal Albert Hall in London, huge place where all the royalties come, and I was singing there too. And then in New York, the Madison Square Garden, all the big singers like Elvis Presley, Tom Jones, and Sweet Caroline, what's his name? I forget his name, the singer, Neil Diamond, and all the big singers, Barbra Streisand, and all the new singers, Beatles, you know, they also, every performed, I also performed there. When you come back, you know, you perform, this is wonderful places. But once I used to come home, I used to make sure that I forgot all that. I'm just an ordinary human being. Nothing much. I'm doing my job. It's giving me opportunity to go and sing somewhere here, somewhere big places, you know, and meet big people, very influential people, very rich people, very you know, you get it. You meet the presidents of countries, you meet the prime ministers, you meet the ministers, you meet the rich multimillionaires, all your friends, they're your fans. But once you come home, it's just a human being. I never let those things come into my house, and I try to be happy with whatever it is. Depression is something you got to get out of it, but some people find it difficult, and that's very sad, very, very sad, very sad to this thing, is because life is beautiful, and we have to try and get out of that and not get into that system, and don't take your fame too seriously. Don't take your money too seriously. These are things which just come and go anytime. Just be a good human being. Love each other. Care for each other. Share for each other. You're nothing great. You're still, however big you are, one day you will have to leave everything and go. So in spite of you having how many multi-story houses and how many servants and cars and this thing, one day we must know that you have to leave everything and go. And that's all. And you have to answer to God. That's a very important part of life. And for that, you have to work towards your own salvation, I feel. Salvation means so that you can stand before God and God would say, well done, my servant, enter into heaven. And that should be our goal, because that's eternal.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing about that. And I hope that, you know, all people who are in entertainment, they need help as well. They're human. We all think they're happy, as you said, but we don't know what's happening in their personal lives. So I hope that they seek help. And now let's get back to what you're talking about. There was an incident in your life that completely shook you up. And you were looking for, you said that, you know, I remember you saying that I was looking for spiritual help from this person, and this Bollywood person said, go to this guru, he will help you. Go to that one, you will find peace, but you didn't find anything. Let's talk about the death of your brother. You had a brother in Germany. You come from a family of 4, am I right?
4 brothers and 1 sister.
Wow, so 5.
Big family, yeah.
That's a big family. And your brother was in Germany, and he was killed by the mafia there.
Well, he was working for a 5-star hotel in Germany, Ludwigshafen near Frankfurt. And one night he saw that there was he was in a night shift. It was late night, cold night. You know, Europe is always cold, even summer sometimes. So it was late in the night, and he was in the front office. I don't know what he was. He was maybe as a front office manager, whatever he was. And he saw there was some drug dealing in the corner of the place where he was sitting in the hotel. he said he'll call the police, thinking the simple thing to do is to call the police and they would deal with the whole situation. But as you know, it doesn't happen like that. He thought he would call the police and things would be over. But as we all know that drugs is managed by mafia. So the mafia people were there, and when they saw that he is going to call the police, they came up, and he was alone, and they just throttled him and pulled it and killed him there and then. And they dragged his body and threw it in the lake, and they went away, and my brother died. And that's when I went to Germany, and I went to his grave. He was already buried and everything. And when I went, I saw my brother had everything, but he was not there. And
what do you mean?
I mean, he's dead and gone. But he had everything that he wanted. His house he had a nice place, and he had a lot of things which he wanted, personal things, what he wanted, he had, but he was not there. And I was shocked. Why did he have to go? And I cried because he was a younger brother, but more I cried because I said, God, what kind of a God are you? You just took away my younger brother, and he was a young man, not even married, and he was a younger brother, and I felt very sad.
How old were you when this happened?
I must have been in my 30s then. Yeah, early 30s.
That must have been a really difficult thing for your mother, your father, the rest of your siblings.
My father had passed away. They were all. My father passed away a long time before, and but my mother was there. It was very tough. But my mother was a tough woman, lady. She had 4 boys. She knew how to handle them, and after my father's death, she was looking after all of us. The way she used to conduct herself, the way she used to tell us things to do, was like a very strong woman. And I think that's a very big teaching we got from her, how to be strong in spite of all the adversaries, being a woman and being a widow. She was a strong lady. So it was tough for her, but she managed pretty good.
And from what I understand, the death of your brother was like the starting point of you leaving Bollywood?
Not really. Well, you could say it in a way, yes. But the thing was that I came back very confused because there I was doing well. My films were doing very well, and but I was not happy because I just thought one day I'll have to go. What's life? My brother went away, younger brother. One day I also have to go. I don't know what circumstance, but we'll all have to go, and that's the biggest part about the most truthful part of life is death. Whatever we are today.
I never heard it like that, but the most truthful part about life is death.
Yes, it is. Because we all know, we don't know what it will be tomorrow. But we know one thing, one day we are all going to go. And everybody's gone. When I saw my friend Devanand Saab just go away. I saw my friend Rajesh Khanna, the superstar. He's a fine actor, rich man. All the ladies were swooning over him. He had lipstick marks on his car when he go out and come back. And everything was there. He had everything going, but one day he just went. So I was confused. I said, I'll go one day. So what's so big about life? But being a little पढ़ा लिखा जब बोलते हैं जैसे, I said, कुछ और होना चाहिए जिंदगी का. There has to be something more than we're not like ordinary animals or plants who just fade away, like that. There has to be, and the Bible says that in Genesis, first chapter 26, 27, God said, let us make man in our own image. After he made the whole world, he said, let us make man in our own image. So we are in the image of God. We are very precious people, and He made us so we can worship Him. We can talk to Him. That's what we call prayer. And that's why prayer is so important, to talk to God, because He's there to help us out. But at that time, I didn't think of all these things, but I just said there must be more to life, and so I started looking for the truth. So many people, in the history we read this person looking for the truth, he found this, he found that. And so I also started looking my own way, and my friends told me, film stars, heroes, Vijay, यहाँ चले जाओ, यहाँ पर बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत शांति मिलती है, बहुत आपकी तकलीफ को सब दूर करेंगे. Somebody told me, go to to church. Somebody told me go to this place of worship. Go there. Somewhere they told me to go somewhere here and there. I went everywhere, but I found no peace. I was still confused. Still had no peace. Then somebody told me, why not try Jesus Christ? तो मैंने कहा कि सब तो try किया, आप Jesus Christ try करते हैं. Why not? I've tried everybody else. But when I prayed to God, His name, Jehovah, through our Lord Jesus Christ, I found the peace. And that was big thing for me. I was looking for it. I could feel the peace that surpasseth all understanding. The peace that comes from the Most High God of heaven, Jehovah, through our Lord Jesus Christ. And I started following. Because I don't believe in religion as such. I believe in a
Relationship?
relationship with God.
Hmm.
There is a God. For each one of us, there is a God. And we have to have a relationship with Him. And through through the Bible, you come to know how to approach
Get
life.
into, yeah.
And how to do the things that is right in His eyes, not in the eyes of me, because we are human beings, make a lot of mistakes, but God never makes mistakes. So if we follow what He's told us, we'd be able to do the right thing, and because there is eternal life. There is eternal life, and so we have to work towards it, the Bible says, and we have to really work out our own salvation, because there's hell and there's heaven. Choice is ours.
I kind of feel what you felt. You had all the fame, you had all the money, you had it all, but there was emptiness inside. And my first job, by God's grace, was in Halliburton. It's an American oil field company. And at the age of 24, I started earning 3-4 lakhs a month.
Oh.
And I know for Bollywood standards, that's not great. But for me, it was like huge. And even I knew I was
It's
earning.
great by any chance. For us also, there's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
And but within those 2 years, so I felt like, okay, I'm making a lot of money, but there has to be more to life.
Yes.
And then I got married, and that was another story. But I was listening to this song called Oceans by Hillsong, because I had to make a decision. Should I leave my wife, get married, leave my wife in India and work in Saudi, or should I quit my job and live with my wife? And I was fasting for 3 days, no food, only water. And I was in the middle of the desert, and I heard this song Oceans, and it was as if God is telling me, Ryan, I want you to walk on the waters, and I will prevent you from drowning. I am going to be with you. And that was the deciding factor. I said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to come to India and live with my wife and do something of my own. Is that something like what you went through?
Great decision to come back to your wife, because the family life is very important for us. There's always a system of life. We grow up, we have children, we grow up, go study, get great. Then you work, you get married, and then you have children, and then it becomes a duty to spend time with the family. And the way God has made the family, God has ordained it that way.
What I love about you is that you're a very family-oriented man. Wherever you go, you have your wife with you. And even when your children were younger, you travel with them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Tell me, why is family so important for you?
Family is never a burden. There's always a pleasure. I enjoyed my wife. I enjoyed my children. And enjoyed them. Whether I had to scold them, whether I had to reprimand them, or whether I had to love them, whatever, it was fun. Like now, they're grown big. They don't stay with me. We're in the same town, but they stay in Bandra, which is closer to where the film people. I stay in my house. I've got a house a little far away. And we don't meet very often, but we do meet regularly.
Where do you live, if I may?
I live in Borivali West,
Okay.
which is about 28 kilometers from Bandra, where my children are staying. And they're busy with film now. They started a new life, both of them. So they've got music, they do music, they got their own studio, and they're trying their best. And so they've got films under this thing is sleeves, and so they're trying to do the work and get on. So, yeah. And family life is very important. it's a joy. It's fun time. I mean, now that my boys are now, I miss them. I wish I could have them again with me, go with them and talk to them every day. But it doesn't happen that way. Life goes on. But when you have them, I think family is such an important part, and you must be together with them. Don't leave them and be your work. I think, I mean, I personally always felt I enjoyed my family. I just want them to be with me. Even if I went for my concerts, I'd take all of them, buy their tickets, take them, have fun, whatever I earned, spend on them, and bring some home and put it in the bank and invest it somewhere here or there. But that's what life is all about. Yeah. Life is full of fun. Life is beautiful, as I said, and God is there to take care of you if you do the right things always. He's always there with you.
Absolutely. So, you finally reached a point after you found out about Jesus Christ. He actually told you, Vijay, I want you to leave Bollywood. I want you to sing for me. That must have been crazy. And I love how you were talking in church and you said you came up to Rebecca and you were trembling because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to tell my wife I'm going to quit Bollywood and stop making all this money. And your biggest question with God was, if I stop Bollywood, how do I make money? Because Bombay is expensive. Right. I don't want to be poor again. And you really struggled to get where you are. You had days where there was no food. You couldn't pay rent. People called you a bloody fool.
Which they even thought is right. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They're my friends and I knew that they meant well.
Yeah. So that must have been how did that happen? And how did you have the confidence to believe in this God that you've never met, you've never felt, you've never touched?
Yeah.
And he's telling you, leave Bollywood.
One morning I was praying actually, and I heard a voice saying, leave it now. I want you to serve me. I said, I'm doing your work whenever I get time. I sing for my films and I do my concerts. And then whenever I have time, I do work with you for you. Also, I sing for your meetings, for your crusade, for your big outreach and you know where they have these big meetings and all. I'm there. God, he says, no, I need you to work for me full time. I said, that's not possible because I know there's no money in there and I'm so used to getting good money and a good life. I have one wife and 2 kids, not the other way around. So I didn't want to leave it, and God asked me. So I'm telling you, I'm not telling you a story. I had a chat. And God was speaking. You had a chat with God? Yeah, she was telling me, I mean, this serious stuff you're talking. Leaving the job which I've earned, he's asking me to leave, and I don't want to leave because I'm doing well. I'm staying with the film stars. There's these stars all around the place. We all stay together in one locality.
Your children are studying with film stars?
Yeah, quite some of them. So I don't want to leave it. And they asked me, what's your problem, son? I said, God, you don't know. You are in heaven. What is your problem? You're there. But
I love that, yeah.
Yeah. But I was so confused. I was so disturbed. But you don't know what we are facing. If I don't do shows, if I don't do films, I'll become a poor man and I don't want to be poor because I've seen enough of poverty and I don't want to, and not poverty, I've seen to have less and sometimes at the cost
empty stomach.
Empty stomach, yeah. I didn't want to go into that. God told me 3 things, 3 words he used. He said, I shall provide.
Wow.
I left film line. Then I came to my wife. She was giving, with the helpers, she was making breakfast. And I told her, Rebecca, she says, yeah. She said, what's the problem? I said, no problem. It's just that
So your wife gets straight to the point. Huh? What's the problem?
Yeah. They know that there's something wrong you are doing or you're going to do. So you're going to tell her that. So they want to know very fast. What's that?
No beating around the bush.
No beating around the bush. I said, Rebecca, I have decided to leave the films. And I looked at her point blank to get a real hard response. And she looked into my eyes and she looked at me for a long time.
And what did you think she was going to say?
I thought I'm going to get good blood telling off. That what if you leave? What will happen to us? And what will you do? What do you think? I mean, who's going to? I mean, I thought because she herself has been earning, and I mean, she was working for airline, and she was doing pretty good. And I asked her to leave to look after the children. And when my first one was born, and I knew she'd give me a good shout now. But she looked straight to my eyes, and for a little while, for a few seconds, and she told me, "I've been praying for this for a long time."
Wow.
And I was so relieved. God prepares. God is a good God. He means well to you, and when He knows His own people who believe in Him, who love Him, who follow His commandments, and they try their best. Life is not easy. You can't always be. I mean, talking all the good thing, but I'm not so good as as we all have our plus and minuses, and I'm no different from that. I'm also a human being, but I try to do always good things, right? And I want to not hurt anybody. Don't want to fraud anybody. I would do the wrong things to anyone. I want, if I can make somebody happy. That's one thing which I always want to do. If possible, I would love to. And so God prepares things for you. He makes things easy for you. He takes care of you. Life is not easy. There's going to be problems. But He said, I'm with you. Even till the end of the world, I'm with you. And that's what helps us. And He is true to His word.
How was it like telling all of your friends, all of your Bollywood friends, all of your directors, all of your music directors, guys, I am quitting Bollywood? They must have looked at you and laughed.
Well, they looked at me and laughed, but they knew that I was serious. So they tell each other, "Ye to thoda sa, he's gone cuckoo. थोड़ा ये तो थोड़ा पागल हो गया है, पता नहीं क्या उसको हो गया, अच्छा खासा गाता है और अच्छा खासा पैसा मिलता है इसको, और ही इज़ क्वाइट डूइंग क्वाइट वी गुड, तो दिमाग ख़राब इसका हो गया, पता नहीं क्या करता है आजकल." बट आई न्यू आई had not made a mistake. I gone a step ahead. I used to first sing for the people, for the hero and heroines. Today I sing for the glory of God, and that's a step higher.
Wow.
I feel.
Absolutely. I mean, you have basically completely stopped working for Bollywood or the film industry, and now you exclusively do gospel music. You exclusively sing for Jesus Christ. Tell me.
Yeah. No, you're right. I have left the film industry because, film industry is a very challenging place. You got to be on your toes. You got to meet the right people. You got to go for here. And I am a little quiet person. I'd like a quieter life. So I find doing this kind of music, which has and singing songs which helps people, which talks about you do good people to do good and to believe in God and to tell people the goodness of God, the love of God, the care that He has, and it helps. I've seen it helps so many people come out of depression. I've seen people when they hear my song, they said we feel so nice, and I feel nice if somebody tells me they feel nice when they hear my songs and they like the kind of thing. So I keep on doing all that. So it's okay. I did the film. I enjoyed it. It was fun and I'm very happy, and gave me a lot of recognition. It gave me, even till today, people love me, and whenever they meet, they say, "Oh, you're the one who sang." It's good to hear that, but it's more good to share the good news of God to the people around. The world is hurting so much. People are being hurt every day, some form or the other. They are sad, they are confused. In spite of everything, they don't find joy and happiness. But joy and happiness is an inside job. You got to make yourself happy. You got to do the right things so that when you put your head on the pillow in the night, you can go to sleep and say, "I've not done anything wrong to harm anybody today. Thank you, God." And you go to sleep, and you sleep very well.
Wow.
That's what matters.
Awesome. So I have to ask you, you quit Bollywood, which is a very, very well-paying industry. I have to ask you this. Is Jesus Christ a good paymaster?
Well, you see, first of all, he's taught me not to be greedy.
Okay.
So, and as he said, "I shall provide." I tell you, Ryan, He has always provided for me and my family. He's always been, I don't know how. My children used to say, "Dad, you know what? Everybody gets a check and all they say in the beginning of the month. I never seen you getting any checks when sometime we've growing up." I said, "Yes, that's right. That's absolutely true. That's the right observation. But God provides for me some form. So are you finding anything less?" No, Dad. I'm not saying that. They were nice boys. They respectful voice. So they said, no. We don't mean that. We mean ki everybody says they get a check and then the mother and father take them out and they have this and that. But you don't get any checks, Dad. And how do you manage? I said, "God manages for me." So it's difficult for them to understand that time. But as they grew up, they understood what I meant.
Did you see any lack in your life after leaving Bollywood? Did you have to change schools? Did you have to change where you had to live? From what I hear, you had a dream of living in and owning an independent house in Bombay, which is a very, very expensive place. And
Yes.
tell us about that. Is that a testimony that I'm hearing right, or what happened?
No, you're absolutely right, Ryan. I mean, yeah, you know what? You see, I'm from a small town, as I told you, from Allahabad, and however middle class we are, we all have our own houses, no?
Independent
So I've been,
houses,
independent house, however small it is, and there also we had an independent house, and I told you, from a middle class family. So I always I didn't understand this idea of staying neither on the ground floor, neither in the top, and just somewhere hanging in the middle on the second floor or third floor in the 8th floor, 7th floor building. I couldn't understand how I could. We are from small town, तो हम लोग को तो ये है कि घर होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा गार्डन होना चाहिए, थोड़ा सा छोटा चलता है. तो I just wanted a house for myself, and my family told me क्या जब फिल्म लाइन में थे तब तो तुमने घर नहीं खरीदा, उस वक्त तो अपार्टमेंट में रहते थे. You weren't staying the film stars, all the staying apartment. अब तो कैसे क्या कहते हैं तुमको घर मिलेगा. I said God will have to give me. I don't want to stay in apartments, and God gave me a house.
Really?
He gives the desires of your heart. So I don't want to go into that where it shows a prosperity or something. It's not like that.
Okay.
God takes care of you, and you have to. And I want to tell the people not to be greedy, because doesn't mean that you become a Christian so you're going to become rich and God is going to fill you with things. No. He's going to the peace of mind. That is very important. We are not here to talk about God telling. I cannot.
But the fact of the matter is that after you left Bollywood, you had this independent house of your own.
Yeah, God did. See, the word of God says He gives the desire of your heart. He knew that I wanted a house badly because I was not comfortable, staying in an apartment. I wanted a house, and like where it has a little garden and a little parking space of your car. That small town mentality, as you would say. So God gave it to me. So people think it's a big thing, because in Bombay to have, as you rightly said, Ryan, that it's difficult to get an independent house, but God gives. Yeah, He did give me, and I do have a house over there, and I'm happy, and I don't earn a fabulous amount of money, because I tell you, I have never been fond of money.
Okay.
When I used to get big monies like this, I used to wonder what will I do with it, because I needed only a certain amount of money for my expenses and for saving, but this was a bit too much. And I kept on getting, because film line, you do get money. But it didn't bother me. It doesn't make sense. I personally feel one should have so much of money that he can live a good life and spare for a rainy day. And I think that's about all that is required, because that's the problem the world is facing today. The problem is people are not happy with what they have today. They're still looking for tomorrow. There's no such thing as tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. It's today that is God has given you. And today is the most important part of your life. Today, if you are happy, you're a happy man. You're contented is your day today. Today you're contented. You're a happy man. Today, if you're happy, you're a successful man. Successful is contentment. Being contented with what you have, that's success. Success doesn't mean you have 10 cars and you have 20 servants and you have houses and houses. No, that's not the gauge by which God wants to take care. He wants to give you a good life. You have enough. Above all, you have peace, happiness, and joy in your heart. I know so many rich people, very rich, who tell you, मुझे रात में नींद नहीं आती, पता नहीं क्यों? Because they don't have the peace. And peace only comes from God. God is our peace. He'll give you peace. He'll give you happiness. When you put your head on the pillow, you just go to sleep. Because He's taking care of you. He's taking care of you throughout the day. He's going to take care of you throughout the night. And He's going to take care of you throughout your life.
Wow. That's so beautiful, sir. Thank you for sharing that. I think that brings a lot of perspective to life. That we got to be content with what we have, and we got to be content with today.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful.
As a successful life, I would say, you gauge your success not by money, not by fame, not my name. You gauge your success by a contentment and happiness in your personal life. And that's what is happiness. And that's what a successful life, I feel, would be.
Beautiful. You were very close with your siblings.
Yes,
Right.
I am still very, very close.
And unfortunately, today, none of them are alive. And you were sharing that was a really huge hurt,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. I have nobody to share my good old days gone by, which I love to share with my sister. I only had one sister. She passed away in 21 due to COVID, due to lack of oxygen. She couldn't get it in the hospital, and so she passed away. One hospital didn't have it. The next one told her wait. By the time she was waiting outside in a car, she died. And she lost her life. My younger brother, the last one,
The youngest.
I met him and after my sister death, and I said, you better stay on. He says, Dad, भैया, मैं तुमसे 10 साल छोटा हूँ. And कैसे जाऊँगा? After 7 months, he also passed away in 22. So I just lost a lot of happiness, very sad. Because, ये गाना है ना, जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा सफर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं, है ये कैसी डगर, चलते हैं सब मगर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं, जिंदगी का सफर है ये कैसा सफर, कोई समझा नहीं, कोई जाना नहीं.
Yeah.
So that's life. You don't know, but it really put me down quite a bit, and I still miss, because I really wanted to talk to them, and when we were small, we should do this, we should do that, we should go here, we should go. I have nobody now to talk that, so I really miss, and that's a very big sadness in my life. But then life goes on, Ryan. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You better get along. That's all.
Yeah. And I think, like you were sharing, after that, you told God, I can't do your work anymore. I can't sing anymore. You lost all the confidence in yourself. Today I have both my parents. I have my siblings.
Wow, that's where you are blessed.
Yeah.
I wish I had that same thing. It would have been so nice.
The only pain I've really felt is my grandparents' loss,
Oh,
which I think about. But, you've gone through it all.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that,
It has helped me in a way to understand that life goes on, number one, and these things keep on happening, and you got to face it, and you got to be strong. You can't buckle. Because, like as you said earlier, that when my brother died in 22, that's the year for last, I just told my wife, I don't think I'm going to sing any more bhajans or gospel songs or any songs. I just want to just not do anything. I was so broken. But then slowly I get up strength. I canceled all my appointments and canceled all my shows. But then slowly I came back to normal. And I'm fine now.
It took time.
It takes time, yes. Time is a great healer.
It's important to grieve.
It is very important. When the word of God, there's a time to laugh, there's a time to feel sad, and there's a time to grieve also. And when your heart is heavy, you might as well go through that. You might as well go through it. Let it not sink into you, but go through it and let it come in normal way, go away. Because it's not a very good thing to grieve for long. It's very, very, it's something that, I cannot explain. It's only when you go through it you understand what it is to lose somebody and to grieve. It's better to get it out as soon as possible and come back.
So we are nearing the end of this interview. would you like to, first of all, share a message to any of our viewers? And secondly, would you like to perform one of your songs for them? I can get it on my phone for you. And yes, would you like to say anything for our viewers?
Well, I am nobody to tell anybody anything, because what am I to tell? What I just passed through life, I can share. That's about all, because I'm not such a big person to tell anybody anything. But yes, I can say that, I would like my life to be a life that I could be a good person as far as I can, to be happy and content with what God has given me, to not be greedy for things and want more and more. Whatever I've got is to be contented with whatever I've got, and thank God for it and enjoy that part of it, and be very happy with what I've got. And then just thank God for everything, and not to hurt anybody. If whatever I have I can share a little bit with somebody, I think I always feel happy when I give somebody something which they don't seem to be having, and I can see that happiness, and I wish I can do it more and more, and make others happy, share whatever little bit I've got, and just lead a nice, good life, because we only have one life. And after that, we go to eternal glory. Whatever God has given us, I would always like to be in heaven and have a lovely eternal life with God. And I think that's what I would call a successful life, is to be happy and content with whatever we have, and help others if you can, care and share. That's what life is all about. God said, love one another as I have loved you. Yeah. Love is so important.
Yes, love is so important. Perhaps you would have a more pertinent message to all of your friends in Bollywood, all the entertainers in Bollywood. If there is somebody out there who's watching this from Bollywood, they're going through depression, they're going through confusion, I think you would be the right person to share a message, because you were part of that. So here they are. This is your message to them.
Well, as I said earlier, I'm nobody to give anybody a message, because...
From your own experience.
Well, all I can say is that believe in God. There is a God. Believe that He has the power to take care of you, and do good to people. By doing good, you always feel good yourself, and help others, and think about the others more often than yourself, and that will make life easier. Awesome. And if you're passing through depression, remember there is always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. The sponsor of this video is Medley by Mueller, this beautiful light with Bluetooth speakers built in. Would you like to dedicate any song, and we can use these speakers to play your karaoke track?
Okay, this song, Mere Mangane Se Zyada. This song I'd like to dedicate it to Medley by Mueller, to those wonderful people who have sponsored this program for you and me. This song is written by a dear friend of mine. His name is Samson Adusol, and it's about telling God how grateful I am to you कि मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा मैंने पाई आशीष. I have received more blessing than what I could ever ask for, and you've given it to me. So I'm grateful to you, and I will always serve you and remember you and tell people about the goodness of God in my life.
Beautiful.
मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा मैंने पाई है आशीष यीशु से. मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा, मेरे सोचने से अच्छा मैंने पाई है मंजिल यीशु से. मैं भटका हुआ मुसाफिर, मेरी राहों में थी मुश्किल, मैंने पाई है मंजिल यीशु से। मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा, मेरे सोचने से अच्छा, मैंने पाई है मंजिल यीशु से। मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा। धन्यवाद देते हैं परमेश्वर। थैंक यू लॉर्ड फॉर ऑल द गुडनेस ऑफ गॉड इन माय लाइफ। गैरों ने छोड़ा, अपनों ने भी ठुकराया, वीरान थी जिंदगी, आंखों में आंसू, तन्हाइयों की रातें, मुश्किल में थी जिंदगी। गैरों ने छोड़ा, अपनों ने भी ठुकराया, वीरान थी जिंदगी, आंखों में आंसू, तन्हाइयों की रातें, मुश्किल में थी जिंदगी। तूने बाहें फैलाई, दे दी मुझको चंगाई, मैंने पाई है मंजिल यीशु से। मैं भटका हुआ मुसाफिर, मेरी राहों में थी मुश्किल, मैंने पाई है मंजिल यीशु से। मेरे मांगने से ज़्यादा।
Wow, that's such a beautiful song. Thank you so much, sir, for singing that for us and for our audience. Truly, you know what I'm touched by, that God has given you more than you've asked for.
Yes.
That's the meaning of this song.
Yes. You know, as I said earlier, it's not the question of money, fame, name, how successful the people gauge you. What is important is how successfully you gauge yourself. That is, what is your idea of success? I personally, my idea of success would be to lead a contented life, to live a happy life, to share and care for my fellow people, and if I can do good to others, I can help them. I think that's one thing which I would like to do if possible, and always be happy and thank God. Life, problems will come and go, but they will come and go. But happiness, if you have it in your heart, you'll be the most happy, contented person in your life, and that's success.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. It's been an absolute pleasure to interview you, and you've been a truly humble and touching. This has been a truly humbling and touching experience for me. I want to thank my sponsor, Medley by Mueller, because of which we could have Vijay sir sing so beautifully and so emotionally for all us viewers out there. Thank you very much once again, and thank you, Rebecca ma'am, for being behind the scenes and making it such a beautiful event.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for having me over here. It's been a wonderful experience. I just enjoyed talking to you, and you did it so well, and I think you got me talking something which would make sense, I hope.
Absolutely. I was touched for sure, and I'm sure the audience would be as well.
Thank you.